Alright everyone, I'm somewhere deep in rural Kiambu. In fact, I'm a few meters from the town of the day. I'll be getting there soon. But I want to show you something real quick. And that is the river that gave Ruiru town its name. This is Ruiru River upstream, a very angry river. And remember, it's not raining heavily. Just take a look. Well, that's the famous Ruiru River for you. By the way, you have a very bad road here. I hope you can see it for yourself. Let's meet in our next town. Okay, everyone. Welcome to Kwa Maiko town. Some 15 minutes from Ruiru town. And I want to explore this place. It's quite an interesting one. And I'm sure you will see why very soon. Let me first get into the town. First of all, it is a big one. It is not a small town. And it has produced a good number of legends. I'll be giving you the list later in the video, including the current Kiambu senator. And it also has a lot of interesting features. For instance, you won't believe that the shade in front of me is a petrol station. I hope you can see it on my right. But remember, that's just the beginning of this interesting old town. I can see a lot of cars in the town, meaning the gas station is operating fully. There is another one in front, also on my right. You can see the yellow shade. It's also a fully functioning petrol station. Well, this is an interesting one. Well, the town is quite old. You can see the buildings on my left. In fact, I'm told that the town was established around 1940s and 50s. And the legend has it that the town got its name from the first shopkeeper who went by the name Maiko. And the locals would often say, I'm going to the Maiko's place for shopping, or I'm going to the Maiko's just to hang out. And eventually the place became known as Kwa Maiko, which is Kikuyu for Maiko's place. Well, that's raw history right there. In fact, I first heard about the place more than 10 years ago in a song, which was recorded more than 60 years ago. And since then, it has been my childhood dream just to get here. Well, that's just a snippet of the song by one legend, Wanga Nango, and remixed by Salim Jr. And for the friends who don't understand the local language, I got you back. The guy is saying that he will not be left behind when everybody else will be going to Kwa Maiko, which is here. And God is the greatest. We are here too. And remember, this is the biggest shopping center between Ruiru Town and Githunguri Town. In fact, I'll be giving you statistics in a few. But let me first take this opportunity to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Village to Town, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. We are dedicated to visiting and documenting every part of this country, all the small towns and villages. And so just fasten your seatbelt. We are just starting. Make sure you subscribe. And those of you who are telling me that you have taken a lot of time in Kiambu and Nairobi County, well, I've heard you. We'll be moving out shortly. But remember, traveling is quite expensive. It needs a lot of time and money. But you can chip in if you don't mind. In fact, sometime last week, a guy by the name Alan Kinyanjui from the UK, he emailed me and told me, Mr. Lone Traveler, I just want to fuel your car so that you can visit my village and do a video for me. And we did it. You can go and check the video on Ikinu. It's on this channel, a small town in Githunguri area. We understand that sometimes you might miss your hometown, especially those in diaspora. I have hundreds of messages from you requesting. Well, that was just a side note. Let's get back to the video. And this is Kwa Maiko town. And as you can see, I'm back to the main road. And if I continue this way, I'll be hitting Githunguri town in about 16 minutes, since it's only 15 kilometers from here. And as I told you, behind me is Ruiru town, which is only 13 kilometers. And so we are not that far from urbanization, despite the town having a village outlook. Well, let me just call it that way, since the town is quite old. And so if you know Ruiru town, it's part of Nairobi metropolitan area. And as I told you, it will get you longer to get to Nairobi city center from Ruiru than to get here from Ruiru. And you can see that the country has a lot of interesting places that you can just live normally, away from the hustles and bustles of the city, and yet you are close to the city. And I want to give you a few statistics about this area. And to start with, Kwa Maiko town is in a place called Ngewa in Githunguri constituency. And I'm told that Ngewa is a Ndorobo name, which is one of the communities that was assimilated by Kikuyus long time ago. And the area has a total population of 23,819 people. 11,976 are men, while 11,842 are women. Quite interesting there, since the number is almost equal. There are 7,208 households, meaning that the average home have about 3 people, or slightly above that. And this tells you that the population is highly planned. And in terms of population density, there are 974 people per square kilometer. And so you can see that this is a village. Don't be hoodwinked by this small town. And I can assure you that behind these shops is a thriving village. There are also several learning institutions in the area. I'll be visiting one, Kambui Girls High School, later in the video. Just stick around for that. And one thing I'm noticing is that on the left, the town is really growing. There's a sense of modernity. And of course, I wanted to get inside there so that I could show you better. But I'm told it's the local market. And so it can get a little bit hard to maneuver. And I want to give you a list of a few legends that come from this area. And topping the list is one Karungo Thangwa, who is the current senator for Kiambu County. And for those who are quite familiar with the guy's history, I'm told that he was a media personality, working for one Kameme FM as a news anchor. That was in early 2000s, if I'm not wrong, before he went to China to further his education. And he later came back and vied for an MCA seat in this area. And I can recall that he went very hard on the then governor for Kiambu County, Mr. Kabogo. He then vied for the Senate seat in 2017 and lost, and later vied again in 2022 and won. Well, that's some history there for Karungo Thangwa. And let me give you the second legend that comes from this town, and she goes by the name PM Squired. Well, for the old-timers like me, we understand that she was a radio personality working for KBC in the 90s and maybe in the 80s, I'm not sure. But she later worked for Kameme FM until she retired not long time ago. Well, you can see that this town has a knack for media personality, and maybe there are others, I'm not quite sure. And so if you come from this area or you understand it better than us, you can add their name on the comment section down below. And you can also add a fact or two about your town, and we will appreciate that. Well, I want to turn on my left. There's a road that goes all the way to Kiambu Town. And I want to visit a local school as we visit the residential areas and see how the people live. And the school, as I told you, is Kambui Girls High School. It's quite popular in Kiambu County. And it is also one of the oldest institutions established by the church. The school also has a history of its own. I'm told that the area MP, one Gathoni Wamuchomba, schooled there. It is also where Senator Beth Mogo was taught by one Lucy Kibaki, the first lady. In fact, there's a story that goes that the third president of the Republic of Kenya, one Moi Kibaki, married his late wife, Lucy, while she was a teacher in Kambui Girls High School. Well, let me not preempt on the school. Let's first get there. And I'm told that it is in the outskirts of the town. Remember, it is my first time here, and I'm loving it. Although the weather is not that nice, but we can't complain. In fact, let me give you today's date for future references. And it is on 28th of May, 2024. The time is around 4 p.m. Although it might seem a little bit dark as it's a bit cloudy. Well, I can see the school is here. It's on my left. I can see the signboard. And we'll have to turn left. And I hope it is not far from the main road. But I understand it is a missionary center. There are other institutions. There's a church. I also understand there's a hospital, which I can assure you they are more than 100 years old. And the entire place is run by the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, formerly the Church of Scotland. They have their first mission in Kenya in Kikuyu area in a place called Thogoto. In fact, I did a video about that sometimes last year. You can go and watch it later. It is on this channel. And it is also good to know that at Thogoto, the missionary established a few institutions which are still running today, and they include Kikuyu Mission Hospital, which is famous for eyes. There are also Alliance Boys and Girls High School, which are touted as one of the best high schools in the country. And there is also the Presbyterian University of East Africa. I remember I also visited the oldest PCEA church in the country, which was built in 1909. It is also on that video. You can go and check it later. And it seems like after Thogoto, the Scotland missionaries came straight here. Well, I can see the school is in vicinity. It's on a weekday. Learning is ongoing. The place looks nice. There is this village ambience, which is quite suitable for learning. And I think the jacaranda trees are giving that old school vibe. Well, let me remind you that this is a girls' boarding school. It's good to know that boarding schools are quite common in Kenya. And of course, I don't plan to enter there, being a girls' school. Remember, Mr. Lone Traveler travels alone, and there's no need to risk it. Remember, I told you that the last thing I'm looking for is trouble. Well, that's a beautiful school for you. If you schooled here, you can write to us. Tell us more about your school, or if you know it better, write to us too on the comment section below. Tell us what do you remember about this school. Maybe your heart was broken right here by a lady in this school back in the days. I can tell you that some of you have crazy stories since I've been reading your comments all the time. There are also other institutions on my left. I want to check them. But before I get there, let me give you more statistics for this area. And I want to give you the statistic for Githunguri constituency, which is home to 165,232 people. Well, 50.3% are women, while men account for 49.6%. Quite a decent gender distribution there. In terms of population density, the constituency has 947 people living in a square kilometer, which is almost equal with that of Ngewa, which is this area. And remember, I told you that it has a population density of 974 people per square kilometer. Well, this is Kambui Mission Hospital, which looks modern to me. You can imagine this is a story building in a village. So it's quite modern. Let's give it credit. But it looks deserted. I can even see the doctor is relaxing outside. It seems there's no one to treat at this time. It must be a healthy community. But maybe the traffic is a little bit bigger during the day, especially in the morning. Well, enough with the Kambui Mission issues. And now I want to jump into the land segment, the real estate segment. And if you want to buy a piece of land in this area, I saw 50 by 100, which is an eighth, going for 2.2 million Kenya shillings. And they are saying that it is touching the tarmac. I also saw another one going for 3 million. And with the two prices, you can get the average price of land in this area. And it seems like land in Kiambu County is quite expensive. I thought it will be quite cheaper in this side of the county since it's a bit interior, but that was not the case. But remember, I told you that Quo Town is not far from here, so that might influence the prices of land. And I want to leave you at this point. Make sure you watch the video until the end. And let me take this opportunity to appreciate you for watching this far. That's love. So don't leave before subscribing if you have not done so, or if you are new to this channel. Like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible, and smash the notification bell so that every time we post, you'll be among the first few people to be notified. For the Team Village to Town TV, those who like and comment in every video, funny enough, I know almost all of you by name. It's only that the list is quite long. I cannot name all of you, but just feel appreciated, and I appreciate your love. It's you who makes me do this twice a week. Trust me. Thank you.